What's up, everybody? It's your boy Nolan with NNC Visuals, and I'm here at Hendo Studios with my last couple of podcasts that I was doing. And it was only fitting that I have the owner of Hendo Studios tell us about his stuff, Mr. Courtney Hendo. What's up, brother?
What's going on, baby? It's a pleasure having me on the podcast, man. I mean, this is going to be the worst podcast because, man, I ain't nobody, bro.
Okay.
You're my inspiration, man. You know, I'm trying to be like you, bro.
Listen, y'all believe that shit at the beginning if you want to, because once he gives you his resume and tells you the people he knows, look, this is the main reason why I'm here.
Hey, man, let me tell you, you're doing big things, bro. I'm proud of you. You're sponsored by Rain, you know. You know what I mean? BCAAs.
I need it
amino
now.
acids, you know. So, man, I'm just a regular old country boy, man, trying to be like my boy Nolan. NC Visuals, hitting him with the poses and everything. Hey, let me tell you the story. Let's get into this story before we dive deep into this podcast. Let's talk about Nolan a little bit, man. So Nolan comes to the studio. And when I first met the guy, I was like, damn, that dude can pose like a mother. I said, dang, this dude posing better than the models. You know what I'm saying? I like he hit the hips, you know what I'm saying? I was like, okay.
Listen, hey, and this a lot of people talk shit about that.
I was like, man, this dude a cold piece, man.
Well, you know what? I had to, because it was one of the things that when I first started doing photography, I would tell a model to get into position. I'm like, yo, arch your back. And they're just like, I can't. I'm like, no, arch your back. Like, I was like being militant about the shit. You know what I mean? But then I said, you know what? Maybe I should try this. So I would I'll go home and put myself in these crazy positions. I'm like, dog, that is no joke.
It's so funny to see this big old black dude, you know what I mean, muscle bound, this big old, this swole diesel black dude just hitting these poses better than model, man.
Hey, look at you.
Yeah, bro, I'm nothing compared to what you.
Oh man,
that's your calling, bro. You need to make more TikTok videos on that. You're gonna go viral ASAP.
Man, listen, I'm gonna tell you this. I try to, in my mind, my arch in my back is like this, bro. But then when people show me the BTS, it's literally like still flat. But in my mind, I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
That Beyonce, you be in them. Man, respect, man. Respect.
I appreciate it, man. You know, it's funny. We were talking about it after I did it. You was just like, man, you was really posing.
I'm telling you, I got girls come here all day. They garbage. They're garbage with the posing, man. I'm like, man, dude, I feel sorry for that photographer.
Oh, man. Yeah.
My boy Nolan coming here. You hitting them, man. I'm like, hey. You need to do it like a class, like a workshop or something.
Maybe I
charge
will.
them.
Maybe I'll do a posing class, the NNC class of posing. You know what I mean?
Make some more TikTok videos, man.
Man, let's not even get started on that. I'm trying, but you know, it's a work in progress. I'm 40 years old, man. I can't keep up with them young cats like that. Man.
You doing it, bro? What you mean?
Oh man, I don't know if I can dance like that. They be doing that shimmy dancing and two steps. Like I can't do all that no more, man.
Your back doing all that stuff.
You're right. I stick to posing.
I heard that, man.
Hey, so let's talk about like what got you here to the studio. You Hendo Studios.
Yeah.
You're here in San Diego. How long have you been in San Diego with the studio?
Been almost March would be we're in February. Yeah, the end of March, beginning of May would be 4 years, bro.
4 years.
4 years being in the studio, this space here. So we're a little bit like 3 1/4 right now. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, it's been a journey, quite a journey, man. Had some trial and tribulations to get here, you know, but this was the plan, you know, to own my own business, to be my own boss, to not, you know, deal with other politics and just be in control of my own future, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Trust me, I know.
Yeah, man. So
I know. I'm ready to hang up that work. I would love to go full time right now, but you know, I get that good retirement, so I'm like, you know, I gotta finish it up. But I think my goal is to end up where you are right now. Is
take your time. Take your time. It looks cool, man. A lot of people think like, you know, you have your own business and it's like, oh man, I'm an entrepreneur and all that, but it's a lot of work, a lot of dedication, a lot of work. I'm here 14, 15, 16 hours a day, every day. I work 7 days a week. I've been working, you know, I just hired an employee, so he's working, you know, the morning shifts. I work the night shifts. So it's definitely a lot of work, man, that I didn't anticipate.
And you got a newborn.
Then I got a newborn baby.
Shout out to the baby.
I see my baby 3 days, probably 3 days or 4 days a week. So there was other times I don't get to see my kid because I leave before he wakes up, and I'm don't get home until he goes. You know, he sleep before I get home, so I don't even get to see my kid most of the time. So, but that's part of the grind, though. You know what I mean? That's part of the grind that we had to sacrifice, and you know, that's part of the journey.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna be walking into an empire when he gets older.
That's the plan, brother. That's the plan.
So what? Before we got to the studio, take us through your resume. What got you started into photography?
Bro, I worked at UCSD Hillcrest. So I started as a trauma tech. I was working there, man. You know, just wanted a job, bro. It was really good money. I was working there just 3 or 4 days a week, long hours, 7P to 7A. And I felt like it was a job, man. I felt like I wasn't, you know, applying my full potential in life, man. It was just redundant, doing the same thing. It was like it was a cool job, but I wanted something more than I, you know, like I said, being in control of my future. I felt like I was selling myself short, you know what I mean? So I was like, I need to do something I love, man. And at the time I knew some friends that were photographers, professional photographers, traveling the world, bro. You know, just shooting celebrities in Dubai, making a lot of money, living a lavish life, you know? So I was inspired by it, bro. I was just seeing it. You know, like I said, working in the hospital, you know, and I'm looking at my Instagram, and my friend, he's in Dubai, he's in London, he's in Paris, and shooting and making a lot of money. I said, damn, bro, I'm hearing this stuff from 7P to 7A in the morning, and these dudes is living their best life. I said, man, I need to live my best life.
So let's do a time check. How old were you around that time?
I was about 33.
Oh, you was already in your 30s.
Yeah, bro.
What?
This was 2015, 2014, 15, yeah, around there. I picked up a camera. First time I picked up a camera, I was about 30. But yeah, it was between 30 or 33, one of those days. One of those.
Man, I didn't even know. So you're
I was late bloomer.
Man, okay.
Yeah, late bloomer, bro. Like I said, I was just inspired by, you know, my friends, and I didn't like my position I was in life. I felt like I wasn't successful. I wanted to do something that, you know, that I was passionate about, and photography was it, man. I picked up a camera, my camera phone. I used to do iPhone photography, playing around, shooting flowers and stupid shit, you know. Then, you know, even if you shoot flowers, bro, it sounds weird, but to create, you know, and just do something creative, man, it's rewarding to the mind. You know what I mean? It feeds the soul.
A lot of people don't understand, like, when you do. Yeah, it's easy, like you said, just to grab your phone, especially the phones now.
Yeah.
Blows my mind. But just to change the ISO or change the focal length in your phone.
Yeah.
Just to create a brand new picture. Yeah. is amazing. And then when you start learning that stuff as you go, oh man.
Yeah. Those photos get better and better as you go, man. It's like I say, it changes your life. Photography changed my life. I picked up my first camera. It was a Canon 70D, and that thing was like $1,000 camera, and that was a lot at the time. You know, for me, I was like, dang, $1,000, spending $1,000 on the camera. You know, I mean, it was life changing to me. Then I start shooting these local. I used to go to my local gyms here in San Diego, Victory MMA, Alliance MMA, and I shot these local photographers, local fighters, MMA fighters here in the gyms, and that was my thing. I love photography and I love MMA. That was the only thing I can think of that I was passionate about, MMA and photography. And that's why I started shooting. That, and I'll go work, right? So it's crazy. So I'll work at 7 o'clock at night, and I'll get off at 7 o'clock in the morning. And when I got off, I'll go to the local gyms here in San Diego and then shoot, and it's practice.
Right.
Practice on shooting, learning different, you know, the focal lengths and the apertures and all that. You know, I go watch YouTube videos, then I go practice. Watch YouTube videos and I go practice. Then when I go to work, I'll just edit my photos and send them off. So that was my process for like 2 or 3 years.
And that, you know what, that's a good thing about the hustle, man, because and I know in another episode we'll probably talk about trades and stuff like that, but just starting off, getting into a spot where you know people, like you can walk up to a boxer or MMA fighter or a fitness model or something and just say like, hey, I'm learning photography.
Yep.
Would you mind if I take a couple pictures? 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get a no.
Yeah, nah. They need that content.
Yeah, they need that content. You need the content. And like you said, man, one, you build a relationship. And And then on top of that, you learn so much more about your camera, what it can do, what, you know, situations and stuff. So before that, you had no formal training.
None. Didn't know how to use the camera.
Now this is my situation, because we just got into this because he was talking about the kind of camera. So right now, currently, I'm shooting 2 R5s.
Hey, you see how you said that? You said that nonchalantly. In other words, let me translate what he just said. I'm shooting 2 BMWs, so you can understand the complexity of what he's saying, the humbleness. 2 R5s, no, 2 BMWs in my hand. Continue.
You know, it is what it is. 2 years in the game, already got 20,000 cameras. You know, whatever. We're just doing it, and that is the thing that I wish I would have learned before. But
yeah,
it's because I'm still paying for it. But the camera you bought, you said it was around $1,000.
Yeah.
How did you come across it? Did you know that was a camera? Did you research it, or did you just like, it's $1,000, it should be okay, let's do it?
Yes, bro. It's spontaneous about it, bro. I got my. Let me tell you how I bought it, because I ain't had too much money at the time. I just used my tax refund, check. You know what I mean? Got that. Spent it all on the camera and the lens. People don't understand that body is about $1,000. I think it was like $1,200 out of taxes and whatever it is. Then you got to buy lenses.
Yes,
the lenses. Most of the time, lenses can be much as the camera body are the same. You know what I mean? Or you know, a fraction of the cost of a camera body. So lenses $1,000, $2,000 as well. So my first lens was I think a 50mm Sigma 50mm.
Ooh, Sigma.
Yeah, and I think I spent $500 on it, but that's a lot.
When you don't have it,
you don't got money.
Right.
You're not shooting for professionally. You're not trying to make money at the time. That's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money.
You know what I mean? For somebody who's a novelist in photography.
And then it limits you, because now you're shooting a 50, so you can only cover what the 50 can cover.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
And which is a key. And that's why I always say when I learn now, what I know now is, take your time. Like he said, it's a long race. Take your time when you're doing stuff, because even though you learn how to shoot a 50, because now you know what the 50 can do.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But you probably would have had a lot better if you had a 24-70 or
100%.
Up to a 105. You know, a little bit more range. You probably would have had a lot more options.
Well, it was even worse. The 50 wasn't my problem. It was the camera. It limited me to the most. The camera body I had was only 6 frames per second. You know what I mean? So that was the biggest thing for me, that the frames per second. So I'm shooting sports, so I had to be like very calculated with my shots.
Right.
So it had to be like, you got to think about it, sports. So they're actually sitting there fighting.
Full
you know
speed,
what I mean?
yeah.
So that camera is shooting like chuck, 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 chuck. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be like, oh shoot. You got to be very like calculated. You know what I mean? They're punching. So to get those good shots, you got to be like, yeah, yeah. Oh dang, I missed it. Yeah, you know what I mean? So it was nuts, bro. Then I upgraded to like the 5D Mark III, and it was even worse, because I was so like, oh, you got to have a full frame. You got to have a full frame. So I spent a little more money on the 5D Mark III, and it was even worse, bro. I was like, Lord have mercy, help me, man. You know what I mean? But I'm telling you, like, all that time I went through, it taught me to be like, it helped me be a better photographer. So once I upgraded to the 1DXs and the camera that sounds like a machine gun, like, brrr, bro, I was a master at it already.
Right, and you weren't even using strobes at that point.
No.
Natural light.
No, I was all natural light and shooting inside of gyms and stuff like that. You know, and that's one thing, that 50mm, it went down to like 1.8, so it allowed me to have a lot of light, inside the gym. So
that's my crutch, man. I can't do natural light.
You can't? Mm-mm. Really?
Again, another learning lesson.
Ooh, shoot.
Start at the bottom.
Yes.
Start at the bottom, which is natural light. To some people, to me, that's the bottom. And I'm not trying to shit on people who do natural light shooting, because to me, they're actually elevated over me, because they can do different things in different situations. But I started off under the strobe.
Really?
So, first time I did photography, like professional. Obviously, when I was like just shooting shit, with friends and family or whatever, I was natural light. But actually learning and shooting was under strobe.
Wow, that's crazy, bro.
Man, so if you ever catch me at the beach and my light goes,
light. Girl, hey, the photo shoot's
It's
done.
done.
Because these photos are gonna be shitty.
Here's your money back.
All these other photos are gonna be shitty. No,
No, I'm better now. That I and that was a learning point for me. Is like I did get into a situation where I had to shoot natural.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my God, like what am I gonna do? And I would put them in the sun, and then their eyes are closed and shit. And then I would put them away, and then there's shadows on their face, and that's when you start like realizing the importance of lighting.
Yes,
you know, and knowing where the sun is, knowing where your subject is, knowing 100%. What kind of lighting, the shadows and stuff. So. Yeah, it was a learning experience, but man, I was sweating balls that day, bro.
Yeah, you know what's funny about photography? I want to bring up, like, it helps out. It's life skills to me because it helps you puts you in uncomfortable situations, and you learn from that. You know what I mean? You always in an uncomfortable situation in photography, man. Like you're always learning something, and you're not something always gonna go wrong
all the time.
Every time. And so you're in these uncomfortable situations, and you gotta learn how to work your way out of those situations.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah. So and the biggest thing is having a poker face, because everybody who knows me knows like my poker face is garbage. Like I'll take a picture and the model's just like, how's it looking? I'm just like,
you good?
It's good. Yeah. Yeah, we'll do it again. But yeah, and when you do photography, something always goes wrong, and yeah, like you said, man, that's the great thing about being a creative, though.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because even when something goes wrong, that might actually jumpstart you into another style.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's like, oh man, my lights are down, but man, now this natural light looks good.
Yeah.
Now I can actually do this and do that, and then if I did have an extra light, I can throw it here. You know.
Well, it's the problem solving skills. It helps you with business, life, and everything. You know what I mean? You just got to figure it out.
Yeah.
You got to sit there and figure it out. You know what I mean? Like, and like you're saying, you're always learning something new. So it's you go into a situation like, okay, I'm learning the light is hitting this subject from this. It's blowing the subject out. Oh man, okay, all right, turn this way. Then you turn that way. Oh shoot, the light's even more. So you got to figure it out. But at the same time, you're shooting.
Right.
So you got to be like you said, you have that straight face, like you know what you're doing.
Right.
Bro, it's a lot, man. People don't understand the struggle what we go through, man.
Man, this is
yeah. So it is what it is.
So 33,
yes.
33, picked up the camera for the first time, just grabbed something that you know, and then grabbed a lens, a 50 lens.
Yeah.
60 frames per second.
Yeah.
Shooting MMA fighters.
Yep. 6 frames.
6 frames, sorry.
Yeah.
6 frames per second. Man. And then where you go from there?
So what happened was I was going, like I said, to the local gyms here in San Diego, and I was shooting these fighters. At the time, San Diego was like the mecca of MMA at the time, bro.
I remember
we had
that.
some big names here. You know what I mean? Still do though, but everybody was coming here to these gyms. I was lucky to have go to this gym called Alliance MMA because there was all the top names in MMA at the time. Mm-hmm. You know, we had Dominic Cruz, they had Jeremy Stevens, Phil Davis. I can go to the list can go on and on all day. And a lot of those fighters were coming through to other camps to San Diego to train here. So I was just blessed to just shoot big names.
Right.
So I was shooting these big names, and Monster Energy was sponsoring a lot of these fighters as well because they were some of the best fighters in the world.
Right.
And they seen my images. Then Monster was like, "Bro, who's shooting these photos here in San Diego? We need you on the team." Bro, quit my job, and I started traveling the world shooting all the elite fighters.
Right.
So what Monster does, they sponsor the best of the best in MMA, and my job was to shoot their fights in their camps, shoot promotion materials for Monster so they can advertise the fighters to other companies and things like that, or online for social media purposes. So that was my job. So I went from working in the hospital to traveling the world, shooting Conor McGregor's, like I said, the John Joneses, the Ronda Rouseys. You know what I mean? So it was a blessing, bro. It was crazy. It was nuts.
And that's crazy, man. And shout out to Dominic Cruz. He doesn't know me, but we go to the same sports therapist.
Yeah.
And I was laying on I was getting tuned up by my doctor, and he was getting his tune up or whatever. And just cool dude.
Oh, hella cool dude.
Like just like we were just sitting there talking shit. They didn't know me or whatever, you know what I'm saying? in our business, sometimes you don't run across people like that.
Yes.
You know, they let the ego get to their heads, and and even with you, bro, because knowing your resume when I walked into the studio the first time, you know, you were very humble. It's the Georgia in you. I mean, we're both Georgia boys, so
Absolutely,
I mean,
bro.
you know, we don't let that. We understand the grind, but still, like you said, with the resume you had going into it, you know, you willing to help with the lighting,
For sure.
always willing to help with photography. Anything I have to do in the studio, you're down for. So,
sure.
big shout out to you on that, man. But yeah, that's pretty impressive. So now we're going to get into the hard stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What is something that you know for a fact you wish you would have done different starting off?
Starting as a photographer.
Mm-hmm.
I won't say anything done different because I was learning as I go. I would say focus more on techniques. Like I noticed, like the more techniques that I learned, like for lighting techniques, strobes, things, the more techniques I learned, and the more value they added to me. You know what I mean? When I learned one thing, it's a couple things. Okay, cool. That's a couple things.
Here we go.
Because I got a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? So
I'm about to hit you with this thing. I don't know if we can talk about it officially.
oh, let's talk about it.
But
Let's talk about it. I'm all
right.
with it. I would say for sure it's techniques, because once I learned different lighting techniques and different like strobes, learning different strobes, the modifiers, all that stuff, the quality of my photos went through the roof. You know what I mean? Then I can charge more and make more money.
Right.
At the time, like you said, I was one of those photographers. I didn't want to learn like lighting. I just wanted to do natural lighting because it was comfortable for me. You know what I mean? Because it was easier to learn that natural lighting. But when I started learning these strobes, bro, it was just game time. Because then I can start approaching different companies and show my portfolio, and then I can get that. That's when I really started making money.
Right.
Once I started learning these lighting techniques and strobes. So that was the biggest thing to me, lighting techniques with strobes.
So on the business side, and as I say, like I don't know if you want to talk about it, but
Let's do it.
Because I follow you obviously for a while and stuff like that.
Yes.
For people who are just starting, especially me, I'm very naive to the game.
For sure.
And I have gotten rolled over by models before.
100%.
You know, put me on, you know, shoot me for free, and as soon as I put you on my page, you're going to be, you know, famous.
Yes.
No, I get a bunch of creepers on my page that just like to look at TNA and like nasty pictures.
100%.
And shout out to the ladies. Shout out, and I say that respectfully. Shout out to the ladies, because I have gotten so many dick pics. Oh shoot! Shout out to y'all, because I did not realize how bad you guys have it.
Yeah,
I had Ruth. Shout out to Ruth. She's an awesome lady. Her and her fiance Brock are dope people to shoot.
Yeah.
She stays on her physique all the time. I had her as my profile page, bro.
Also, they thought that you was a girl.
Man. Man.
You getting them all.
Man, I would wake up to messages thinking like, oh man, I got somebody who wanted to do a shoot today, man. Whatever. What? Oh, what is that? You know, it's just man, shout out to the ladies, man, because I know.
Hey, shout out to these guys, man. They had the confidence to send some dick pics to
man.
a girl.
They have
I can't do it.
no cap, man. They have no problem.
That's weird, bro.
No problem. Is that what we doing these days?
That's weird, bro. I don't get it.
Man, that is so scary. But yeah, man. Shout out to y'all, because I
couldn't do it.
I couldn't do it, man. Every day, like it was relentless. I had to pull the page. I had to pull the picture
But the question
down.
is, like, what's the purpose? Like, what are you doing? Like, are you sending your thing to a girl to hope she'd be like, oh, cool, that's nice. Then in return, like, that's weird. I don't understand the fetish behind it.
I don't
It don't make sense to me.
But it's working for somebody apparently,
I guess so.
because they're
I
doing
guess
it.
so. Maybe we need to do it, bro.
No, bro, that's not happening. That is not no.
Like I said, absolutely not.
Now you trying to get me hemmed up, bro? I don't know.
I feel you.
But on the business side, how do we get from that to dick pics? I don't know. You never know what you're gonna get. Or you think you're gonna talk photography, but you just never know. We're gonna go everywhere with it.
Going deep.
No
pun intended. No pun intended.
But the real deal. So like I was saying, like I've gotten rolled over, and I know a conversation we've had is, I'm not going to name them. It's up to you.
Yeah.
I know you had an issue with business with a brand, and it's not even really the brand. I guess a specific person in the brand.
Yeah.
Kind of dicking you over. So knowing what you had to go through with that and the stuff that either you gained or lost with that, what would you say on the business side to look out for? Like, what do you need to look out for? How do you help yourself from that situation?
Bro, it's going to be very hard. And then I used to shoot for Monster, and I tell you the whole story. You know, like, it's nothing. It's already out and it's public. I used to shoot for Monster Energy, and the guy that was pretty much my boss at the time, he would take my photos and he would claim and say it was his. You know what I mean? And because when I submitted the photos to Monster, it was like, oh shit, these are nice photos. Oh, Courtney's a dope photographer. And it kind of put more shine on me than him. You know what I mean? So he didn't like that at all. You know, so he was kind of controlling the situation. He wanted control of everything. And he will take my photos and say he took them and everything like that. So after a while, it wasn't just more than that. That was just one thing. It was the way he was treating me. It was just, I was pretty much a slave to this dude. You know what I mean? Like, for example, I will go do some stuff with Monster, and he'll be like, hey, you know what? I have this personal project that, I need to shoot with one of my friends. Nothing has to do with Monster. I had to go do it. I had to shoot him when I on my time off. I had to go to drive to Oceanside to shoot him, for his Instagram. So he need photos for his Instagram. So he was paying me through a Monster, but I had to do all these other things outside of Monster to keep my job. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I was a slave to this dude. Anything he wanted, I had to do it. You know what I mean? So after a while, it just got too much, man. It got too much. It became too much. The money was very good, but I was very stressed out. I was having migraines. My life sucked because I was a slave to somebody. You know what I mean? And I felt it was like the way he was talking to me as well. I felt less than a man. You know what I mean? And to me, only thing that was keeping me there was the money. I was making six figures. I was making 100,000, 150 grand on just shooting pictures. And I was shooting the best in the world. Right. So I was blessed to be in this position, but at the same time, on the back end, I was being slaved. So I was like, you know what? I've been poor before. I've been on the bottom before.
Right.
I know how to operate. You know what I mean? And I know myself. Like, I can get money back. I can get money. Now, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a hustler. So it's nothing. So what I did was I just quit. I quit. And I started open up Hendo Studios. That's why I opened up Hendo Studios, because I needed money, and I wanted to, when I retire, I wanted to have a studio, but not this early. You know what I mean? So I was like, I had a lot of money saved up, so I started open up Hendo Studios, and I started pushing Hendo Studios. So anytime you work for big organizations and a big corporation, you're gonna have to endure some type of politics. It comes with the territory. With me, I didn't want to deal with that anymore. So that's why I started my own business. So that's one of the other major reasons why I started my Hendo Studios as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
That's
it's just
rough,
part of the
man.
game, bro. It's part of the game, because I worked in a lot of corporate settings before, and it's all the same, bro. But Monster was on a different level. It was some stuff I never experienced before. It was different. It was completely different, And I'm not shitting on Monster. Monster was actually a good company. It was just some individuals in that company that was like,
yeah, that's the downside to dealing with a company, man. There's just so many moving parts.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? So one bad apple can mess up your mentality when it comes to the whole brand. So
for sure, 100%.
Yeah, like you said, man, it's not a hit on them, but unfortunately that one person just kind of made it sour. But the good side to it is Hendo Studios opened up.
100%. There's a lot of positives that happened. Like I said, I traveled the world with the camera. I went to everywhere in the world with the camera, bro. Like, you name it. On free too. Like, I didn't pay anything. So they gave me a stipend. Like, I was food. I can go to these nice restaurants. Excuse me. I go to these nice restaurants. They'll pay for it. I shot John Jones, Mayweather, Conor McGregor, you name it. Anybody you can think of that's on a higher level in MMA, I shot. I've developed personal relationships with these people. I got to know them. There's so many positives that came out of that situation. I can't complain at all, bro. I'm definitely not sitting here and complaining. And like how you said, I had enough money to open up a studio out of my pocket. You know what I mean? So, provide, a quality studio here in San Diego to try to help other people out too, to give back, So it was a blessing, bro.
That's what's
It's
up,
a blessing
man.
for sure.
So, I'm gonna hit you with a hard question.
Let's
bro.
get it.
Your passion for photography,
Yes.
as it stands now, because you own a studio, do you feel like it's changed?
Yes.
Yeah.
100%. It changed for me because I felt like I accomplished everything I wanted to accomplish. That was my goal already. My goal was to go shoot the best in the world in MMA. So once I'd done that and I conquered that, it's like, what else can you do? You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean? So now what fulfills me now is to give back to other people, to show people, how to make money in photography, lead them in the right way, the stuff that I know, you know what I mean? So like I said, I have a lot of experience in this industry. So I don't want to die with all this knowledge. I want to give back and I want to help other people. I want people to feel the way I felt. You know what I mean? Like I said, I was working full time, making a lot of money.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then I quit. Then I was still subcontracting on the Munster. I wasn't an employee, but did something I love to do, like my passion, bro. Photography at the time, like, bro, I was so sick with it, man. Like I was obsessed with it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It wasn't even a passion, bro. It was an obsession.
Right.
Like it's the only thing I can think of at the time, So I lived that and I made a shitload of money doing it.
Right.
I was like, bro, stress. I don't have stress in my life anymore. That, I don't have that type. Me and my chick arguing is much. That's stress in my life now. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, I feel like I'm like in life. I feel like I'm in Mexico on vacation now.
Right.
That's how it is. And I want people to feel the way I feel. I want people to have that life and have that mindset and the quality of life that I have. You know what I mean? Because I think it's the key to life. Find something you love to do. Find something you're passionate about, and you go do it.
Right.
Don't do something because it sound cool on social media or around your friends or it makes a lot of money. Money's gonna come with whatever you do anyways that you're passionate about.
Right.
And that's what I experienced. And I want other people to feel the same way. And I achieved this through photography. So, I mean, me and you walk on the same path. So I'm gonna give you all the knowledge I can possibly can. I can give you. You know what I mean? So, because I want you to feel the way that I feel or experience the things I experienced through my life.
Yeah, and you know what? That makes a lot of sense when it comes to how we move and who you're attracted to as far as on a creative level.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just because anytime I've asked you a question, you're 100%.
For sure.
Anytime I say, hey man, I need to learn something new, lighting in the studio, hey, I'm here for you. Anything you need.
100%.
I've even told you my passion of starting my own studio, which, like you said, politics, man. In some situations, you don't want to tell someone else you're going to move, especially when it could be like in their mind a move against them.
Yeah.
Now, you sat down and said, whenever you're ready, let's go. Let's talk about it. I'll tell you anything you need to know about opening your own studio.
For sure.
And those are the type of people you need to have in your circle. You know what I'm saying? So starting off in the game, if I strongly recommend going into a mentorship. I strongly recommend finding someone who's upper level that's willing to give you the knowledge, but also, willing to help you, show you grind, show you grow. You know what I'm saying? And that's a big thing, man. And I seen that in you, and I think that's why we clicked a lot going when I first started, man. And it's a beautiful thing. And like you said, man, don't let this become a job.
Yes. Bro, let me tell you, that's the biggest thing too. And that's another thing too that what happened to me as well. It became a job too. Because I wasn't growing as a photographer. So I was shooting. Bro, how many times you gonna meet Conor McGregor? You know what I mean? After you met him 2 or 3 times and you're around this dude for months and years, it's like he becomes a regular person to you.
Right.
You know what I mean? What I was doing, I was going to the same places most of the time. I was shooting the same lighting techniques. I was shooting cage side. It was just redundant. So I wasn't grown as a creator.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It seemed cool to you guys, but to me it was like, all right,
it's the same stuff. Yeah,
I did this already a million times. You know what I mean? I'm make good money doing it. It is what it is. I want to go to a chapter in my life. So it was everything happened for a reason, bro. I'm telling you, man. All the little trials and tribulations that you go through, it makes you who you are, and it's part of your story, and it happens for a reason. You know what I mean? So
that's what's up.
I love
it, man. Yeah, it's that, and I've had those creative ruts, and that's the thing about it. If you get into a creative rut, you know what I'm saying. That's just part of being a creative, right?
Yeah.
You'll get into that rut. If you get into such a rut where you just feel like you can't get out of, that's when you probably need to,
for sure,
figure out the next step.
Yes.
I've been in ruts before, but I've been able to get out of them and find something new, find a new style, find whatever. But
100%.
like you said, you get to the point where everything's just redundant. You come in there, you already know poses.
Yep.
You already know the lighting. You already know where your camera settings are. And then you just shoot and you take your money and leave.
Yep.
You got to know how you're going to edit.
You got to keep growing. You got to keep learning. You want to keep progressing. That's our human nature in life anyways. You want to keep progressing, keep learning new things. And I want to touch on another thing too as well, like since we're talking about this, like a lot of people view each other as competition. You know what I mean? And as a creator, to me in my mindset, like I'm a creator. So you can go open up a studio the same as mine. Number one, that's so much business that it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like we're not gonna competing. And number two, in my mind, this is a creative space this is a representation of my vision.
Right.
So when you go in there, you know, you're gonna have your own vision as well. So it's gonna be completely different from mine. You know what I mean? So you're creating. You're gonna go in there, you open up your studio, it's gonna be completely different from mine. So it's no competition because we're creators.
Right.
You know what I mean? We have the ability to create. So that I don't look at people as competition. And I want you to be the best. I won't even be like a friend if I don't want the best from you. I want the best. I want you to be the best Nolan that you can possibly be.
Right,
you know what I mean? That's my job to push you or give you the tools, you know, so you won't go through all those trials and tribulations that I went through. You know what I mean? And there's no school for this. Who's going to show me a class a school, a college you can go to and learn what we're learning right now? There's none.
None.
So we learning from each other. So it's my responsibility to give back once I learn something.
Right.
And then as another black man, I want to see you make it regardless, because ain't too many black people in this industry as well.
Right.
So it's my responsibility to give you the knowledge and the wisdom that I obtained throughout the years to help to pave that road for you, and so you can take that and give it to somebody else.
Yeah, and that's like for me, just like you said, man. And that's one thing I learned when I was going up, and you know I came up through under Brett Seeley. Shout out Brett to Seeley, man. And like you said, there's no competition because nothing's going to be the same.
Yes.
I can someone can give you a camera, give you the settings, give you the lighting setup, take a picture, and then give you the camera and tell you to take the same exact picture, completely fucking different.
Absolutely.
Completely different. And that's the thing about it, man. There's so much variation. People see things differently.
Yes.
People compose things differently. Just like with the business model, I can, and that was one thing that I struggled when I said I was going to start the YouTube. I was like, man, I'm just giving out too much tea. Like, I don't want to be giving it out. Maybe I should do a mentorship and have people pay me, which is still an option. Yeah. But what I'm telling you right now, I can tell you this right now. I can tell you exactly what I went through, and someone's going to go out and do it completely different.
100%.
So that's that's the good thing about this space that we're in. You know what I'm saying? Is that it's very hard to do something exactly the same.
Yes.
And I love the fact that I can see someone else do something and I can try to create it or whatever, and it comes out differently.
Yes.
Or whatever. And that's the thing about being a creative is there's nothing there's nothing that has not been done in photography, I don't think.
Yes, sir.
As long as photography's been around. I mean, think about all the cameras. You know, I see some of the old cameras you got in the office.
Yeah.
You know, from the time they were using real film to now going into mirrorless cameras, there's nothing that a photographer hasn't done.
Right.
It's up to you as a creative to put your spin on it, your interpretation on it.
Yes.
That's the whole point of it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and if that's the case, why are so many people battling and making it a competition when it's not?
100%. And I love that. I love what you just said. And I think I want to highlight what you just said. Like, I feel like the problem in San Diego, that's one problem we're having in San Diego, the creativeness. Like people, I mean, that's good to replicate things and copy and everything like that to learn. But when you do something that you're creating something what's your vision, that makes you different. You know what I mean? So when you come in here and you create something that's what Nolan thinks that's art to him, that's what's going to separate you from everybody else. And I see a lot of people you'll come in here and use that lighting and you shoot a model a certain way, they'll come replicate that same thing. Right. And somebody else come and replicate that same thing and try to replicate that same thing. But to me, just as my opinion, it doesn't make you special because you're not creating from your heart and your mind. You're not, manifesting what you have in your mind.
Right.
You know what I mean? So when you do that it makes you stand out like a sore thumb, and there's nothing, like I said, there's nothing wrong with learning John shot this model with three lighting setup, and you want to go shoot the same thing and learn that lighting setup. There's nothing wrong with that, bro. That's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But you want to get to the point that you want to create what's in your mind and have that artistic spin on it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it makes you special, for sure.
And I think that's the hardest part, especially me right now, is like I love my work.
Yeah.
I love my work. But we've had this conversation. I've had the same conversation with Brett. What on my page makes me unique?
Yeah.
And I think as a creative going forward for most people out there, like what stands out, I want to be able to look at a picture and say that's Courtney's work.
Yes.
I know that's Courtney's work. I can tell by the way it's lighting. I can tell by the way he edits. That's 100%. His work. And that's what you want to do. That's that, like you said, we can go out and shoot the same thing, but what is that same picture but with your spin on it?
Yes.
What are you doing?
100%.
Are you putting, more shadows in it?
Yes.
Is your composition a little bit different? You know what I'm saying? Just those little small things puts your signature on it.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? So,
and that's how you become different. Like the Brett Seeley. Like I've seen Brett Seeley because of the poses and the glitter, he put it all over girls and things like that. That was different. I haven't seen that before.
Yeah.
He posed these girls in like statue figures and stuff like that. And he put his spin on it, you know what I mean? And that makes him different. It makes him stand out, and it adds more value because it's not the same as everybody else's.
Right.
And it's going to attract more eyes.
Yeah.
So.
So we are going to nerd out real quick.
Mm-hmm.
What is a piece of equipment that has caught your eye that you're like, man, I gotta cop that?
I don't shoot too much anymore, but I do
even
like
for the studio.
For the studio? Well, we'll keep it photography because you got all this crazy equipment. So yeah. I will say this R5. That R5. I just bought the R6, but I'll say the R5 because the autofocusing systems, the eye detection. Bro, let me tell you, that's the nastiest camera I've probably ever seen that Canon ever made, bro. I had the 1DXs, 1, 2, whatever they have. I had all. But that R5 you got right now that you filming with this thing?
Stop, right?
That thing is so stupid. So yeah, I think that's the mirrorless with the eye focus, the autofocus is game changing. If I had that camera when I was shooting, bro.
Ooh. I've seen some really good MMA shots off of the mirrorless cameras now.
I don't make so much money off that thing. Because the only thing you got because when I was shooting, you had to put the focus box on the subject and you got to move it around.
Right.
And he's over here fighting, and you got to move that box over there. Like a little joystick.
Yeah.
As you're shooting.
Yeah.
So it's a lot going on. That thing just locks onto your eye and it would just follow you.
Well, all over the place.
Come on. That's cheating, man. It's the cheat code.
It is cheating. That's cheating. But again, you have to know the stuff leading up to that, because before I got this, I had the same issues trying to make sure everything was in focus and all that other stuff. But yeah, the eye detection is garbage when it comes to shooting. It's so bad. It's cheating. It's cheating so bad. It's funny. And then the RF lenses.
The sharpness.
Oh
the
my
colors.
God, man! You know what? Sometimes it's too sharp. Like sometimes, like
you hear my man? He says too sharp.
It's too sharp. There's sometimes I have to edit out like hair because it's to the naked eye you don't see the hair, but like on the photo it's so crisp and it's bad.
I'm jealous of you, man. You hear this? I hear this. My man says too sharp, man. Like,
Yeah,
I'm jealous.
Don't be, because I'm still paying for it.
Hey.
I'm still paying for it,
Man. If I had that bad boy when I was shooting, man, oh my God,
it's bad, man.
I'd have been so nasty.
Some of the pictures that I've shot at, especially at the beach, man. I love San Diego's beaches.
Yeah,
At the beach, oh man, it's not fair.
yeah.
It's not fair. The sun and the extra light, man.
Ooh,
That's
I'm
it.
jealous.
That is it, man.
Yeah.
Hey, Courtney, I want to shout out you, man, because like I said, from the first time I came in and decided to try to do studio work, you've been helpful. Shout out to Julian. Julian is also here working right now. He's dope with his lighting skills, man. If you don't follow Courtney at Courtney Hendo's page. I'm gonna let him shout out all his stuff in a minute. But he's also got some YouTube stuff, some TikTok stuff. This man is famous. He keeps trying to put it on me, but this guy is
I'm definitely not
famous. So if you guys are into like MMA and you want to talk, see some guys talking shit about fighting and stuff, make sure you check out that podcast. But again, man, I just want to thank you for like you said, just the knowledge leading up to this point, that being helpful with everything. And I mean, this dude gave me his number like 3 or 4 weeks into like us first meeting. He's just like, man, anything you need, hit me.
Bro, like I said, I think that's the key to life, man. Like my life changed like 360 degrees. I was always stressed, you know what I mean? You know, trying to worry about things. And bro, when I picked up that camera, bro, man, it was a game changer for my life, man. So it feeds your soul, you know what I mean? So I just, like I said, I want people to feel the way I felt and have that same experience, man. So I'm an open book, man. I'm an open book, you know. So anything you need from me, you know, you can support. Another thing too, you got to support the people who support you. You hear all the time, bro. So you pay my light bill and shit, man. You know what I mean? So hey, I want to give everything you need, bro. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, man.
I appreciate it, man. And humbly, man, is like every time I come in, like he's just telling me, you know, and before we go, sometimes being a creative, you are super, 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 super hard on yourself. Like there's been times that I've talked to Brett and I've talked to Courtney about like, I'm just not feeling my stuff. And they're like, man, have you seen your shit? Like, have you actually looked at your pictures? And like, he'll pull it up and he's like, dog, do you see this?
Are you crazy?
And I'm like, nah, bro. Like, you say that all your photographers are coming in here. And he's like, yeah, I do. But still, like, your shit is good.
Yeah.
No, but he's just like, you know, and like you were saying to your point earlier, man, it's good to have someone on your team or somebody to support you. Because there's been some times that I was just like, man, I don't think I'm doing it. And sometimes you need people to actually slap you and tell you like, nah, man, you where you need to be right now.
Hey, if you don't like your camera work, bro, just keep on doing your poses, baby. Keep on hitting them. You got 2 careers you could be exploiting right now, man. You already playing, bro. You could be the posing coach, and you can be doing photography. So you ever get tired of doing photography, man, you got other things you can make money on, brother.
I'm not doing
Stop playing with them.
I need to lose some weight first, man.
Man, we all. Me too, man. But it's all good.
Yeah.
It is what it is. You got the muscles, so it's good.
Yeah,
you good.
Yeah, that's true. I need to get back in it. But tell them where they can find you, man, on all your platforms.
Courtney Hendo, Instagram. It's all that's same for all of them. Twitter, all that stuff is Courtney Hendo. Facebook, Courtney Hendo. Was it TikTok? Got TikTok now. Oh man, I'm still trying to learn that. But
Are you
Courtney
dancing?
Hendo. Yeah, on everything. So appreciate you guys' support. If you need anything from me, hit me up in my DMs. You know, if not, Nolan got you because he's way better. He's the future.
No,
he's the future.
I hope so.
You know what I mean?
Man.
So
that's
for
the
sure.
goal.
Appreciate your support, man. Even have me on your podcast. You know, yeah, bro.
You're not
Proud
gonna
of you,
shoot out the other one. You and Sunni.
Oh, Boisterous Boys podcast. We have a MMA podcast called Boisterous Boys. That's on TikTok as well, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, everything. All the social media platforms. Boisterous Boys. If you're into the MMA scene, all that, you know. So yeah, we talk real crazy. So hey, let's just disclaimer.
Yeah, they
talk crazy.
They do talk a little wild.
We talk crazy.
But that's what people like, man. They like the real. So
that's why we do it, man.
Well,
entertainment purposes.
Also, Hendo Studios is your IG for the actual studio. So if you actually want to look and see what the studio looks like, see what some people put their work on his website, check that out.
We have all of Nolan's work on Handle Studios Instagram.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You want to see some good fitness photography, you see Nolan's work. We post everything.
Yeah, man, they do. They post a lot of stuff. There's some like that's the good thing about it. I don't even think I've touched 20% of the studio yet.
Damn, that's crazy.
I don't. Yeah, you still trying to get me on like the beauty, not the beauty dish. This guy knows all about the modifiers. He's like, man, like if you touch this modifier, you're gonna get a whole nother look. Like, we're not even gonna go there right now because we'll be here all day.
That's a whole nother podcast.
That's a whole nother podcast. So yeah, man, I appreciate you. And again, check me out. My name is Nolan. NNC Visuals is the brand. You got me on YouTube, so check me out on IG, NNC_visuals. NNC Visuals on TikTok. I'm not 100% pushing that yet because, I got to get some of my posing videos and dances down.
I call this though. Listen to me. Make this a clip. When Nolan start posting these posing videos, it's game time. It's over. I called it. You heard it here first.
Oh Lord! Now I'm gonna have to do it. now I'm gonna have to do it.
I love it. I love it.
All right, man. You guys stay blessed. See y'all on the next one.